Someone asked quite a question. They said, what is the difference? And I want to know specifically all the details. What is the difference between the average person and what we call a spiritually awakened person? Okay. Well, the difference really is this, that they both exist. They both know that they exist. One feels I exist and therefore I am separate and it's me, me, me. The spiritually awakened simply says, I exist and therefore I am existence. One, therefore, who believes also that I exist and therefore I am separate, they feel a lack in their life, and so they're always striving for something extraordinary. I want to be special. I want to be successful. I want to amount to something. You see, I want to get out of the ordinary, run-of-the-mill type of thing. They want the extraordinary. On the other hand, the spiritually awakened simply want to be ordinary because they see the miracle, the magic, and the beauty of just ordinary existence. And so I'd like to explore that, that what we take for granted, we need to look, to see, to feel that what is at the moment, you don't need to strive to become anything, really. Everything is within, everything is you. And when you begin to look at life as it actually is, a whole new outlook, a whole new perspective begins to dawn. For example, we're sitting here now, and we take for granted that we feel solid and we feel we're unmovable, right? But did you know that the Earth is rotating around the Sun at the speed of 20 miles per second? I looked it up at Google's and it says 29.8 kilometers per second. Now, at that speed, and yet we can walk and we don't feel any difference. Why? Because of gravity. But what is gravity? Who understands gravity? Where did it come from? Who gave us gravity, you see? And you're filled with awe, you're filled with wonder. That's the awakened self. Because nothing is ordinary. And you see the extraordinary in the ordinary. In other words, you haven't taken life for granted. And everything is rich. You're full of gratitude because you're alive. And that's what aliveness is. Being awakened is being alive to what already is. You take nothing for granted. Another one, for example, when we look at a human being, immediately we look at the body. And then we say, I like, I don't like, pretty, not pretty, you see? And whereas the awakened person, when I say the awakened person, means someone who's awakened to life, to see what is at the moment. They see energy. In fact, you see so much energy in the person, and you don't, how they look is relative to how you see that energy, because it is the radiance of the person's realization that gives them the real beauty, the real energy, in other words, you see? And so the person who's so-called awakened will see a person as that energy. And because you see the energy and not just the body, you're able to see how they think, how they feel, how they emote. Did you know that the moment you look at someone as energy, as a being, that's just the garbage dump there. Okay? Just in case those who are listening wondering. It's outside. So where were we? Yeah. So the moment you begin to see a person, not that particular age or because they're male or female or because they have a certain look, you see them as energy. You see them as being. You see them as existence itself. The moment you do, you begin to feel a certain connection. You see? And that connection will tell you exactly what is going on, what is feeling, what is going through. Another thing, for example, that the person who sees the magic and the wonder of ordinary life sees that nationalities, races, different colors are not at all. Everybody is I am. Everyone is I am. You know what I mean when I say I am. See, I can say I am Burt, you know, but primarily I am. I just am. And when you begin to expand on that I am, you begin to realize one other thing. Everybody is I am. The whole 7 billion people on this earth. At least, do we have 7 billion yet? We're very close to it, right? Doesn't matter. So you begin to see that we're really all the same beyond the facade, beyond the veneer, the body. And that, of course, brings us closer to the realization that every moment is oneness acting out. What is the greatest law? The greatest law, and every other law is subservient to it. What is the greatest law that there is? Unconditional love. And when you begin to understand unconditional love, full of acceptance, full of forgiveness, full of allowing, seeing that whatever a person is coming from, even negative, you see, it's all coming because they want love. Did you know that all dysfunction, emotional dysfunction, has one aspect in it? Feeling empty, feeling separate. But did you know that the emptiness that you feel is because you haven't recognized your existence itself? You simply separate from existence thinking that I exist, but I don't know about you. You see? In other words, there is a separation. And that causes all the needing to seek, to want, to need, to demand, to control. Now, a very important part to discuss right now, which is hard for most people to understand, but as you begin to go deeper and deeper and see the wonder of the beauty of what is at the moment, you begin to see another aspect. What we take for granted to be duality is really isn't. Everything is one. Because unconditional love simply means this, that everything is one. It doesn't matter what aspect it expresses. So therefore, what we call good, bad, right, wrong, even should, shouldn't, positive, negative, or love, fear. You see? The person who doesn't take anything for granted, who looks at what is as is, you'll find that those polarities are really one. They're not opposite. And the moment you begin to see the oneness at that point, that's called unconditional love. See, love that is conditional, which is filled with fear, most of it, is also very self-possessive, you know. And so therefore it's always, I love you as long as you love me. It's not unconditional. And so there are always conditions, and because of these conditions, of course, we do not see clearly. But when you begin to see clearly, you will find that the opposites are really one. Love and fear. For example, we've said this before, but you can never say it enough. What we call the fear part in life is always that which separates. Okay? So we can say that I am jealous, that it is something. I am depressed, it is something. You see, I am angry, it is something. But love is not something. Love is the I am. Love is. You see? Love is the totality of is, the completion. So now the moment, and this is the beautiful thing to see, that even if you have fear, but at the moment you can accept it, at the moment you can see that it's showing you where there is no love, like that's what fear is. That's unconditional love towards yourself. You'll accept every part of you, no matter how it is expressing. The moment you put love and fear together, where is fear? You've accepted it, and therefore it annihilates itself. You see?